Okay, I just feel the need to put this out here, but I just got some quick tips for like moms who are like potty training, right? So, I prefer to use the brand that they use in the hospital. They use Pampers or whatever. So, um, and I'm only gonna speak mostly from what I know, right? So, try not to cross over in the waters that I don't know. But anyway, um, we use like Pampers, and the thing that I really like about Pampers is that they have, Pampers from the time they're newborns all the way until they get pull-ups. So they start the little babies out with like swaddlers. So you got three types of Pampers. You have the swaddlers, the baby dries, and the cruisers. Oh, there go my fingers. And so here's the deal. So you got the swaddlers. I think this is just my experience. It's like for the smaller, skinnier babies, or like when your baby is like little. And then for the baby dries, it's been my experience that it's more for like if your baby moves around a lot, if they jump around a lot, you know. And then the cruisers, I feel like the cruisers is when your baby go through like a fat phase. And this is what I mean. So like, let's say this is just strictly from my experience. So then your baby be little, it's kind of skinny, and swaddler is real comfortable for them laying down. And then they get fat. So they little, then they fat, then they little. It's like the boom and the boom and bang. I don't want to call it that. But it's like they expand and contract. That's the best way. They expand, they contract, they expand. So this is what I mean. Like, so they're little and then they get chunky and then they get little again. It's like they get wide and then they get tall and they slim out and then they get wide again, right? So just from my experience, what I've been doing is it's a swaddler when they first start getting into a certain size. And then when they get fat, I put a cruiser on them. And then as they start moving, I put them in baby dries. And then it's like the cycle starts over. Now, my kids, I be in here cooking all the time. They be eating all the time. They get big all the time. So because of that, I've been mostly doing like, I kind of got away from the swaddlers. I know they got swaddlers for kids who are like size 4 and 5, stuff like that. But my kids, they be getting fat. They be eating over here. Now here's where it gets interesting. So after they come out of the diapers, then they have these things called 360s. I really like the 360s because I don't know, like, okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and talk about it. There's this one lady that I heard about on the internet who had her 4-year-old child in diapers. And in my opinion, I think 4 years old is too old for like baby diapers. Now, I do understand like the training diapers or maybe the nighttime diapers, but this is just my personal experience with my 2 kids. I have a little boy, I have a little girl, and they don't want no diaper change. They don't want to be sitting on no changing station, and they 1 and 2. Jazz is 1, Junior's 2. So this is how this relates to the 360s. So once you come out of the Pampers, then you do the 360s, because the main thing is these kids, they will take their diaper off. Like, you try to let them get some air, try to let them run around, do their thing, but they will actually pull the front part of the diaper off. The beautiful thing about the 360s is twofold to me. Number one, they just can't snatch it off and run off. That's number one. Number two, it actually is preparing them for pull-ups. So, and also it's just easier to change. It also gets your kid used to, and I know I said 2 points, but it gets them used to stepping into their underwear rather than just laying on the changing station. And I just wanted to revisit the whole laying on the changing station thing. Kids do not like being on the changing station. They do not like laying down and you holding their legs up. That sounds so terrible. That sounds so terrible. Let me put it like this: like like how you know, people who change diapers, women especially, mothers especially, where you have to hold their legs to change their diaper or whatever. That gets really uncomfortable for them, especially when they start walking and standing. So my recommendation is that you go from diapers to 360s, and it also trains them to go to the bathroom as well. So then you get into the 360s phase. And once they get the hang of the 360s, eventually what you want to do is you want to do potty training while you're doing this. You want them to have a potty. So then that way they can, instead of being conditioned to go to the changing station when they go to the bathroom, they'll walk to the potty. Which brings me to the third stage, which is the actual Pampers pull-up. I absolutely love the Pampers pull-up because it's easier for the child to go to the bathroom on their own. Earlier when I was doing a live, my son was like, making noise in the background because he had to go to the bathroom. And, by the time I shut the live off, he had already went ahead and, he's 2. And it's easier. Now, here's the thing about the 360. Like how I talked about the dilemma of the kids taking a pamper off. Well, the 360, it doesn't really allow them like take their pamper off or whatever like that. But see, by the time they get into a pull-up, the pull-up is actually designed for them to actually go to the bathroom on their own. So even though I didn't get around, I'm still picking up on cues, of him letting me know he has to go to the bathroom. But the pull-up allows them to go ahead and do what they got to do, come back to you. So, that's my little tip about changing diapers. I wish this video was out. Hopefully any woman that's in the process, or man, any parent, anybody who's in the process of potty training their kids, my recommendation is you go Pamper 360 pull up. And yeah, I just felt the need to share that whole diaper changing thingy.